Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll have updates. Very excited for today's beer. It's a mystery beer. And if it's not obvious to you, it's from Matt from Massive Beers. So, not because of the sticker he put on. No, that's not why it's obvious. There are two easy to identify signs that this is from Matt. Number one, pull tabs. So that when you're doing the unveiling, it's much easier to unwrap. Two, you can see top of the can a little bit, giving you some clues. See, he lives in Jersey. The top is orange. This is making me think Carton. I have not had a lot of Carton in my life. Actually, I think I've only had one can of it, and it was a mystery beer from him. But I do listen to the podcast that Augie Carton does. Words are tough. And big fan of that podcast and want to drink more Carton beer. So like 98% sure this is a Carton beer, so that's awesome. Mystery beers are tough because you never know what glassware to use and what temperature to serve it. This is 45 degrees out of my beer fridge using a Tiku. Just get into it. Thanks, Matt, for the beer, obviously. It's a Monday. I just watched Matt do 2 mystery beers. Seemed appropriate to do one. And I had sent him some mystery beers, and he's posted one of them, and he nailed it. I sent him a 2016 Bell's Black Note. He guessed 2016 Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout, and then he was 0.1 off the ABV. Hard to nail it any harder than that. So a lot of pressure coming into this beer review. It's mystery beer. I'll say make sure you check Matt out like you don't already watch his channel. Alright, so it's hazy. It's not butternut squash soup. It could easily be in the New England style pale ale, IPA, double IPA family. It could be perhaps a wit. It doesn't look like a Hefeweizen to me. I think it looks a little closer to what I think a wit looks like, but definitely unfiltered and hazy. The head, white. Can't even say it's off-white. I don't see any legs really sticking, so I don't think it's super high ABV from the look. All right, so we've narrowed it down a little bit. Let's get to the aroma. Lots of citrus. Lots of orange. Doesn't help me narrow it down too much. I'm not getting too much bitterness. The orange is so dominant, but it's not like... It's not leading me into this is obviously a pale ale, IPA, double IPA, or even a wit brewed with, the addition of coriander and orange peels or something. So it's not pulling me solidly in a direction yet, other than it definitely is a very orange-forward beer. Maybe a hint of grapefruit, but I mean, it's very citrusy. I could keep talking about that, but I think I'd rather get a taste. Cheers. Pale ale or like a session IPA. It's very much pith and zest in that order. 70% orange, 30% grapefruit. So this is very interesting. The aroma I got and the taste I'm getting are very similar, except it is a bitter tasting beer. So that, in the aroma, it wasn't like obvious. Like I knew it wasn't a sour or something from the aroma, but it wasn't super obvious which direction the orange was going to take me. And again, was it going to be one of these, pale ale, IPA, double IPA, triple IPA, I should have said that, or more of the wit based on the aroma. It didn't have like the yeasty character or something that I would think a wit, but it was still in the conversation based on the appearance and the aroma. Now, obviously, it's out of that conversation. This is very much pale ale. Great flavor. It's, I like using this word because it reminds me of when I got into drinking beer. It's refreshing. It's a very refreshing beer. It's clean, crisp, has a nice hop punch, good level of bitterness. It has enough of that citrus to keep me, in that fruit mindset, but also very beer-like. The ABV is what's tripping me up right now while I'm still talking because I'm still thinking about it. It's got to be a lower ABV. I'm going to go a little, I want to say 5. I'm going to go 4.5. So I'm going a little lower than I want to. I could crush these. Because I'm pretty sure it's Carton and the one he sent me before had, I felt so good about it. It was, I kept saying like oregano and it had basil, or I kept saying basil and it had oregano. It was one of those herbs, but it was so obvious. It was such a weird thing to do because I'm like, I know this is weird, but like it's very herbaceous, but I mean like literally it smells like basil, and then I open it up and it's oregano. Or vice versa. So I'm like, is there some culinary stuff in here that I'm not picking up? Because again, it's that orange with grapefruit thing, and not to say act like it's 1 or 2 note, but it's again all these things I said before. Light, refreshing, bitter, drinks like a beer, but you could crush them. 4.5 pale ale. I could see someone calling it a session IPA. If there is an adjunct, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm thinking citrus peel specifically. See, look, you did that nice pull away, and I still am making a mess of it. Well, it is Carton. I feel good about that. Boat! Very cool. Okay, so, again, I've only, I think, had that one he sent me, but they talk about Boat a lot, and I've never had it. Session Ale, 4.2% ABV. So I feel really good about the 4.5. I don't drink a lot of beers under 5%, so I don't think most beers go that way. I'm aware they make this beer. Was it in the back of my head hoping this was Boat? Because it tastes really good, and I think it was pretty light. Yeah. So maybe that's why I went a little sub 5. Man, this is really good. Boat beer is designed to be complex enough to merit drinking a few to enhance, not hinder, a good session. Kolsch yeast and German malts are combined to be crisp and refreshing, while a generous amount of American hops have been added to keep it remarkable. Expected to dance out of the glass. Sorry, where the white is on the orange and like the glare of the lights. Glass with a whack of grapefruit. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I feel good about that. And open into a crisp, stony tangle of white and yellow fruit, pine and moss notes. An IPA for everyday drinking. Drink Boat beer when you are thirsty from softball, fishing, or explaining why your team is best. Or when you're doing mystery beers. Matt will understand this because he knows I listen to the podcast and enjoy it, and he's the one who actually turned me on to it. So as someone who likes listening to that podcast, who Carton isn't around me, like I can't get Carton at my local beer store. So like he'll appreciate how cool it is that I'm digging Boat because they talk about it a lot. It's like it seems to be the beer that Augie talks about the most of his own beers, and I'm glad that I thought it was as refreshing and flavorful while still being light as Augie has talked about. So it's a really cool feeling right now for me that it lived up to the hype of how he has spoken about it. They are really good, super tasty. Like I said, I could crush these. That ABV is ridiculous for the amount of flavor, and I can see why I sell a lot of this, and he's proud of this beer. Thanks, Matt, for sending. I really appreciate it. A lot of pressure now for the other two that he sent. Make sure you check Matt out. Make sure you check me out, Instagram and Untapped. You'll have beer reviews about those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.